Ever asked yourself why vampires and werewolves are so often portrayed as sworn enemies? It's a tale as old as time, yet this rivalry is a relatively modern invention. Let's delve into this intriguing narrative. Vampires and werewolves have been part of our storytelling tradition since time immemorial. The Slavic folklore of the 9th century presents us with the earliest instances of vampire-like beings, not necessarily blood drinkers, but ghostly entities that spread disease. Despite 14th century Serbian officials' attempts to eradicate these beliefs, the fear of vampires persisted, culminating in the so-called vampire epidemic of the 18th century. Werewolves, too, have a storied history. From the Norse sagas to Native American legends, and even the ancient epic of Gilgamesh, tales of men transforming into wolves have remained a constant. The 19th century marked a significant shift in the portrayal of these creatures. John Polidori's 1819 story, The Vampire, introduced the charismatic and manipulative Lord Ruthven, laying the groundwork for our modern conception of vampires. H. Ritchie's The Man-Wolf in 1831, Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1897, and Guy Endor's The Werewolf of Paris in 1933, further solidified the modern, aristocratic attributes of vampires and the primal ferocity of werewolves. These creatures' evolution hasn't been entirely separate. Vampires and werewolves have crossed paths numerous times, with some suggesting the Greek term for vampires, vrkolakas, has roots in a Slavic word for wolf. Some even propose that in the Balkans, the werewolf has merged into the vampire. Literature too has seen this convergence. Bram Stoker found inspiration for Dracula in Sabine Baring-Gould's The Book of Werewolves, and in the novel, Dracula himself turns into a wolf. However, the modern rivalry we see between these creatures didn't emerge until the 20th century. The golden age of Hollywood saw the rise of vampires and werewolves in mainstream horror. Universal Pictures' Dracula in 1931 and The Wolfman in 1941 turned these monsters into enduring archetypes. The studio later brought these characters together on screen in House of Frankenstein in 1944. In summary, the rivalry between vampires and werewolves is a relatively modern construct, born out of centuries of folklore and solidified by the golden age of Hollywood. From the Slavic folklore of the 9th century to the big screens of the 20th century, these creatures have evolved and converged, captivating audiences with their unique allure and terror.